Hi, this is JP Morgan. Today on Slanted Lens, we're going to look at the six pieces of equipment that you need to make money in photography. That's all you need, 6 pieces of equipment. You should allow yourself, with minimal amount of equipment, to start a really healthy side hustle or a great way to make a living. You don't need a ton of equipment. I have mentored hundreds of people, and they have all started out with simple equipment packages, but you do need these 6 things. So let's take a look at those 6 things right now. Number 1 is a camera. You've got to have a camera, obviously. Does it have to be the best camera in the world? This is the EOS R. It's a great camera, not the best camera in the world. This is a Canon Rebel. I know a lot of people who have made money and making good money shooting with a Canon Rebel. You just need a decent camera that is going to get a decent image, and the Canon Rebel is exactly that. Does not have to be a full frame, does not have to be a $6,000 camera. You can spend $1,000 on a camera and get a camera that is going to be very, very usable and get you great images and help you start to make a living. So once you have a camera, what's the next thing you need? Well, number 2 is a lens. You have to have a lens on your camera. Now, this varies for every single person. You are going to want to choose the lens that is best for you and what you're going to be photographing. That 16 to 35 is a great place for someone to start who's going to do architectural kinds of work. But if you're going to do portraiture, I think a 50 millimeter, a good fast 50 millimeter, like a 1.2, is a great place to do portrait, some kind of family settings. You can even do a lot of wedding stuff with that 50 millimeter lens. Generally speaking, I tell people get a telephoto just because it gives you more options. If you're doing portrait kinds of things, a 24 to 70 is a great lens because it gives you a little wider for context, but then a little more closer to an 85. It gives you more of that context, or a little more of a portrait type lens. So I think a zoom lens is a great second piece of equipment to add to your equipment package because it does give you some options. So number 1 was the camera, number 2 was the zoom lens. What's number 3? A card. You got to have a SD card to go in your camera. Get 2 of them. Don't buy small SD cards, 16 megabyte. Get at least 64, 128s. It's at this point, 256s is almost starting to become a mandatory on a lot of cameras. Depends on what camera you're shooting on, but get decent SD cards. They're going to last you for a long time and that are going to really give you the space to be able to shoot a lot of images. All right, so there's number 3. Number 4, a tripod. You're going to need a tripod. There will always become situations where you're shooting where you're going to need a tripod. If you're doing event photography at night, you may want to get some long drag shutter images. So a tripod becomes very important if you want to set up your camera and then go work with your talent. So having a tripod is just a must in photography. You may not use it all the time, but you should always have one. Number 5, you've got to have a computer or access to a computer with the ability to sort images and send images to people. You can try to do it all on your phone, but that just becomes extremely cumbersome. You don't even need to have Adobe Photoshop. There are other programs out there that'll give you a great way to sort and send images, and they are much less expensive, don't have a monthly fee, so you don't even need Photoshop, but you do need a computer or a way to be able to sort your images and to send images out, because everything becomes about editing and fulfilling orders, getting things out to your clients. Number 6, your first piece of lighting equipment. It's a 4-in-1 or a 7-in-1 reflector. You want to get a reflector with multiple covers because you can use it translucent, allow light to pass through it, just give it a nice soft light on someone's face. You can put it up in front of the sun, makes it like a softbox. You can put it on a hard bounce, so you can bounce light back into someone's face if you want to open up the shadows. You don't even need a stand for this. There's always a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a brother-in-law, somebody standing around, or a good friend of yours who will go and hold a reflector for you. But that's going to give you a piece of lighting equipment that's going to make your images look a lot better. They're going to up your images significantly one level because you're going to have much nicer lit images and they're going to look so much better than taking just exactly whatever nature gives you. I may throw in a bonus piece of equipment. Number 7, the first thing most people are going to step up to after this set of equipment is some kind of on-camera flash. The reason that we go here is because we want something that we can do event photography with, wedding photography with, something to provide a fill light to be able to bounce off the ceiling, give us a nice light when we're doing events or weddings, and this becomes a very easy way to accomplish that. It's compact, it moves around with us very easily, it's just a really simple way to work. I'm not an advocate of buying the stuff that's brand name because generally speaking, you can find really great aftermarket strobes on camera flashes that are a half the price at least. Because if you spend $500 for a 50-watt strobe, you paid a premium, because for $500 you can get an FJ400, you can get a 400-watt strobe. But does a 400-watt strobe move around like the FJ80? No, it does not. And so that's why a lot of people get this. So there you have it. Secure these 6 items and you now are ready to make money in photography. You are ready. I give you permission to make money in photography. Get these 6 pieces of equipment and start shooting now. More than likely you have all 6 pieces of this equipment, so why aren't you shooting? Why aren't you getting jobs? Carry your camera with you everywhere you go so people are going, hey, are you a photographer? Yes, I am. Here's my card. Get out there and start hustling. Network with everybody you know. Start take pictures and put them up on Instagram of your nieces, your nephews, your family, of other buildings, of whatever is going to be key to the type of work you want to do, and just start shooting and putting things up. As you start shooting and putting things up, things will start to happen. But if you wait, these 6 pieces of equipment are just going to sit around and not do anything, where you could have a great side hustle going or a great way to make a living. So leave some comments below. Let us know your story. How's it you got started in photography? And tell us your scary stories about how hard it was in the beginning. You've got to overcome each one of those, but remember, what makes a professional? That is practice in a stretched situation makes professional photographers. So keep those cameras rolling and keep on clicking.